Hi guys, officially the bull is over. So in this video, I'm just going to show you a couple of charts that prove the point. While still most of the analysts on Wall Street believe it's a bull market, all you got to do is look at the facts. So the top trading stock of all times in 2024 was not Nvidia, it was SMCI. Nvidia was actually in the beginning of the year, took a second place as far as the stock appreciation. So it was SMCI which went from $100 to 1,200 in March, and yet all the analysts were screaming, there's no way it can drop below 800. And then they were screaming, there's no way it can drop below 600. And today the stock is hitting close to $400 and it's probably going to go a little lower from here. The point is, the stock lost almost 70% of its value from March till August. And for those of you unfamiliar with Smci, guys, I mean, that's similar. It's a semiconductor stock, top semiconductor stock of the year. Okay, outshined Nvda in its performance. And the question is, everyone's trying to figure out what's going to happen with Nvda earnings today. All you got to look at SMCI chart, and you're going to understand what's going to happen not only with Nvda earnings, but for the first time in history, the whole market is hoping that Nvda is going to say something. It's going to give such a great forward-looking outlook that it's going to save the market. At any moment in history where anything remotely close was taking place, the market collapsed. So it doesn't mean that initially when Nvidia reports earnings, we cannot initially bounce. But after that comes one of the biggest drops that you have ever seen in the history of the markets. And I'm not saying like over one day. I'm talking about over the course of the next few weeks, over the course of end of August. I'm recording this on the 28th in the morning. August, September, October 2024. I mean, the market, if you listen to the message about stagflation yesterday and the three undeniable facts about stagflation, you got inflation, you got slowing labor market, and then you've got undeniable evidence of top technology stocks like SMCI, institutions, investors, all-time favorite. By the way, guys, how do we nail this trade? Not only do we tell you to short it here, there was a pattern for a while in SMCI where it drops every Friday. There was a 93% probability of SMCI at one point for weeks, like 11 weeks straight, where SMCI dropped every Friday. And if you look at this chart, it is clear. If you've taken our crypto entries and exit scores, okay, named titled Crypto Star, you would have known about this tornado pattern. So I'm going to review the setup real quick because a lot of things in the market are at this point right here. So if we're to look at SMCI first after the 1200 top, which we accurately nailed here at 30 market moves, the stock drops. Bounce one, bounce two, bounce three. Bounce three is slightly undercuts the last bounce. After that, you get a collapse. Bounce, what do we do with the bounces? We short the fuck out of them, okay? And that's how you make money with puts. And here comes the big drop. So if you were to study this pattern in detail, there's a 6-hour explanation in the Crypto Star course. You guys can go to 13mmtv.com today, get the course, have a clear understanding of how powerful this pattern really is. But if we're to overlay this on any other sector of the market, let's pull up Bitcoin chart. As you can see, this is the same pattern. It's a tornado pattern on Bitcoin. This is how we accurately nailed this entry and this entry because they're all a bounce within the tornado pattern. And now we just had another one, and we had some traders made a killing yesterday on the Bitcoin drop. But what I'm saying is a much grander move to the downside is developing. So if it's developing in the top stock like SMCI, it's going to develop in the chart of Nvidia. It's developing in the chart of Bitcoin. What do you think is going to be happening to the rest of the market? There's no way if you got top stocks are going to be collapsing. Look, it's a slightly different pattern on Nvidia, okay? But the point is there. Top, bounce, undercuts the prior top. Next bounce, undercuts the prior top. Yet, the stock's trading close to all-time highs. You got major bear divergences on the RSI. You got major bear divergences on the volume. You've got the whole world hoping that Nvidia is going to do something phenomenal tonight after 4 p.m. And normally, when you go into this sort of setup, I would argue slightly differently if Nvidia was going into earnings report at 85 or 90, but that's not the case. Nvidia is going to the earnings report at the time I'm recording this. Of course, this could change. I mean, give or take, we're at 127, 128 as the share price for Nvidia right now. But I mean, by the end of the day, we could be at 122. I think people will begin panicking. But if, especially, it goes into 4 p.m. earnings report at like 1:30, guys, I mean, this shit is destined to collapse. There's nothing, absolutely nothing Nvidia can say to save this market. And because of the amount of hope that is currently invested in this one stock to bring the market even higher, that makes it so absolutely fucking ridiculous as the Fed is finally beginning the rate cuts, which is supposedly positive for the market. But if we study the history, most of these rate cuts, or the beginning of the rate cut cycle, they result in market collapse and crashes. There's not an instance in the market where the market did not collapse under the case of stagflation. So S&P 500 chart, very similar to that of Nvidia. And so guess what's going to happen to S&P if Nvidia drops? It's going to go to total shit. And what's going to happen to NASDAQ? I mean, we don't have to mention NASDAQ, right? I mean, stocks that recently off the lows went up all the way to here, double top, right against this gap down, can't hold the level, slight overshoot, guys. The next move is severely lower for NASDAQ. If we take a look at, I mean, USD, man, this is a whole nother video, but guys, we're talking about SMCI dropping 70%, while Nvidia is still trading to close all-time highs. The probability of a severe drop is here. You know, some of the critical components of the market within this structure. Not every stock has a tornado pattern, but some of them are very close to a major drop off from a tornado pattern, from some other patterns that highly resemble this setup and structure. So don't miss your chance to short the hell out of this beautiful setup. The divergences are everywhere. And so the biggest one is SMCI, right? SMCI. Let's go back to this one for just a second. This is a representation of what's about to happen to the rest of the market right here. Possible bounce and another move lower, guys. That's what we're looking at, okay? Don't miss your chance to understand the chart patterns better. Therefore, you can stay with your trades longer with better understanding, therefore lock in some major gains. So as everyone basically says, well, there's no more room to drop in this perfect stock of 2024, just continues lower. And I think the rest of the market is about to go through the same formation. So if you care to catch some of these potential 50x, 100x trades, guys, get in touch with the 13 Market Moves coach at 13marketmoves.com or 13mmtv.com. I'll catch you guys in the next video soon. Let's roll.